Okay, I want to make sure this thing is on. Check 2 1 2.
Can I tell you something for what it's worth? If you have it, that's all nothing. Take you there, take you, show you something.
What's up, everyone? It's your boy Charlie T, back again with another video. As you can see in the title, this is in regards to a situation that I had with a bus driver. I want to go into further details. I honestly was cool with this person for a minute, like for a while, and I was like debating if I wanted to air out, you know, certain things. However, you know, it's giving, a lot of people are acting fake now. They're acting brand new, like they don't know me. And I was like, okay, I thought we were cool. So this is a gift. Since Christmas is arriving, I'm going to give this story time as a gift to you all and share what's been transpiring when this person was around in my life, the way they were around. Now, before we hop into the video, I want to make sure you guys, if you're not subscribed yet to my channel, make sure you subscribe, make sure you like and you share my content, and then leave a comment down below that you know you like this video, and I'll go ahead and like it. I'll even give you a shout out on my next video, okay? I'm gonna give y'all the timeline too. I will. I definitely will. I was gonna hold back and be like, time is of the essence. It's just like non-existent. But no, I'm gonna just go ahead and spill it. I don't care. I'm just gonna tell it all. This all started back in 2019, okay? I was living in Georgia at the time, and I was in a relationship. I was engaged, okay? I'm not just in a relationship, but I was engaged at the time. And if you guys haven't seen my story time in regards to my ex who scammed me, that's the one I'm referring to. The ex, you know, fiance, like, you know, scammed me. You can watch that video later on after you watch this video, okay? So I was with that person at the time when I ran into this guy. We're going to call him Bus Driver, okay? We're just gonna call him Bus Driver. And Bus Driver, when I first seen him, because I didn't have a car at the time, and so when I was like riding around, I wasn't like, you know, driving my own vehicle. So I was getting around majority of the time around public transportation. And when I first seen them, I was just like, oh my gosh, like, he is fine, like fine. Like on a scale to 1 to 10, he'll get 20. There's no way though that this man is gay, he's not bi. Like, I don't know, I just, in my mind, I was just like, he got a lot of women like after him. He probably get a whole girlfriend, if not a whole wife or whatever. Granted, I wasn't paying attention to his ring finger or anything like that anyway. Every single time that I got on the bus, because I would take this bus at the time to go to work, and I wouldn't see him like every day, but it would be damn near close enough. It'd be at certain times of the day, and that's when I figured out, long and behold, like that was his route. Like he was just scheduled certain times or certain days, depending on like other routes or whatever. So I spent, from the first time I seen him, when I was in a relationship, and granted also, even like being in a relationship, I wasn't like, even if I thought like he was into guys or anything at the time, I wouldn't have done anything because I was legit in a committed relationship, and so I wasn't thinking anything like that. And to begin with, I just wasn't thinking like that. Like, I'm like, you know, but he is fine. Like, regardless of being in a relationship or not, like, I'm one of those, I'm gonna tell my partner, whoever I'm with, I'm like, oh, like, they really cute. Like, I'm not gonna make him feel like insecure or anything, but I'm gonna acknowledge like, hey, you think you cool? Because that's what I would want my partner to do anyway. But that's beside the point. I had spent time, like, during the course of the months in 2019, seeing this man on the bus every so often. And every time I get on, he would always say, hi, how are you? And I just thought it was him being nice. And especially, like, him being nice in general, I was like, oh, let me just move on with my life. Let me just move on. I'm in a relationship. Like, nope. Then I was no longer in a relationship at the time. And then I was still getting the hello. I was still getting the, you know, good afternoon or good morning. How are you doing? Oh my God, it is pouring. Okay, so if you guys hear the rain, excuse the weather. It's getting a little crazy. It's getting a little loud. I'm single. One day in particular, I just remember talking to one of my best friends. Shout out to Jason. So I was talking to Jason on the phone, and I was like, it was after I got off of work, and I walked to the mall. Like, it was a mall by my job. And I knew, like, instead of just waiting outside of my job, I was like, let me just go walk to this mall where I know the bus is gonna be sitting at for a good 10-15 minutes. So I walked over there, long about this bus driver. And so when I get on, he's like, good afternoon or good evening, whatever, how are you? And I was like, oh, I'm good, da 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 da. I'm out of my business. Each time I get on, mind you, I got my AirPods in. Like, I got my whole, every time I get on public transportation, I got my earbuds in. Why? It's because I'm minding my own damn fucking business. Ooh. Out of my own damn business. Like, I don't have time for all the, like, side conversations, regardless if I find you fine or not. Again, I expressed, like, at this point I was single, but I was like, I wasn't thinking like he was into me, let alone into me. I just paid the dust. I was just like, you know what, I'm listening to my music, I'm vibing out. So by the time I got on the bus stop, this time I was talking to one of my best friends, and I noticed that bus driver, like, kept staring at me in the rearview mirror. Mind you, we're still just sitting. I'm just sitting on the bus. So I'm just kicking with Jason, like, oh my God, so remember I told you about bus driver? Well, they're the driver right now, and they keep looking in the review. What do I do? And my best friend was like, babe, you better talk to him, like, say something. I was like, no, what if it's just like me? Like, it could be somebody else behind me that, like, he's staring at. And there was like 2 people behind me, like, in the way in the back. But I was like, maybe I'm making this up. Like, maybe I'm like, you know, oftentimes you could think somebody's staring at you, that you got a crush on or whatever, and you wishing, lo and behold, they staring at somebody else, or it's not even what you think it is. So I didn't want that to be like what it was, and like embarrassed. I'd be damned. I do not have time for the embarrassment. So I said, I'm going to wait for a few more looks, and then that's how I'll know. So I'm still kicking in with Jason, and then while bus driver started to drive the bus, he legit kept looking. In between other people getting on, getting off the bus, he's checking. Then he's doing a lot of lipping. He's giving the LL Cool J. And I'm just like, boy, stop. Like, cut it. Cut it. Cut it. Cut it. You're doing too much. Later on down the line, I end up in another relationship. As you guys also know, that story time, that is of the ex that, you know, left me stranded in Atlanta. So you can watch that story time as well after this one. Things really start to get interesting because this is around Christmas. Actually, yes, it was Christmas Eve. I don't know how I forgot. So this was Christmas Eve, and I had to work. I usually go like visit family for the holiday, but I was like, I'm gonna stay in Georgia this year for Christmas, and then for New Year's, you know, I had other plans. I really don't know what it was. Like, in my mind, my gut, well, I know what it was. This is my intuition. My gut was just telling me, talk to this man. Like, even though you're in a relationship, you don't have to be, you know, flirtatious or anything. It could be strictly platonic, but talk to him. Just have a conversation. Because after all this time, all these months that's gone by, you never talked to this man, and clearly he's been like really trying to talk to you. So I said, okay, I'll do it. So I went to the bus driver. So, how has your, you know, shift been going? He was like, it's really been slow, you know, I can't complain. I was like, oh, really? He was like, yeah. I said, oh, okay, well, I'm like, I would have figured it would be a little bit more busy, like people trying to get to and fro, like last minute Christmas shopping. He was like, no, not really. I was like, oh, okay. So then he goes, so, where are you from? Like, you from here? You look awfully familiar. And I was like, no, I'm not from here. He goes, okay, well, do you have any plans for Christmas tomorrow? I said, no, I usually go out of town to visit my family for Christmas. However, not this year. I'm just gonna be home, and then I got plans for New Year's. And I said, what about you? So he was like, no, you know, I mean, he was like, I have plans with my sister. I'm just gonna be chilling at home. I was like, oh, okay, cool. He was like, do you drink? I was like, yeah, I do. He's like, okay, well, maybe we can go out for a drink. I was like, tomorrow? Like, I'm not from here, but I'm pretty confident there's not gonna be that many places open tomorrow. So he goes, well, I'm sure like Applebee's or something is open. I said, well, okay. I mean, again, you know better than I would. So, hey, you want to treat me out for drinks? That's fine by me. He goes, I swear you look so familiar. I said, well, probably because I've been on this bus for the past several months, like me living here. Aside from that, though, he was like, I see you like somewhere else before. I said, well, I don't know. Like, I don't know what to tell you, sir, but it's only been on the bus. So he was like, well, go on Facebook. He was like, cause I promise you, you got me on Facebook. I said, okay. So I go on my Facebook and he tells me his name and I type in his name. I was like, see, look, read him and we not friends. And then he goes, then add me now. This how we going? Okay, this how you want to play it. I did let him know that he has my ex on his Facebook. So I was like, this is probably, if anywhere, this is probably where you actually saw me. You probably saw me, since you're friends with my ex on Facebook, you probably saw me through his page when he posted me before. So I told him that, and he was like, oh, he was like, who's your ex? I showed him my ex. He was like, got you. After you dropped me off at my stop, he was like, I'm going to hit you up once I get down. I hear from him on Facebook Messenger, and then like he said, first, like one of the first things he asked me was, so are you single? Are you in a relationship? Like, are you dating? I was like, yes, I'm happily in a relationship. He then was like, oh, okay, all right. He understood. He was like, well, I don't mind making new friends. I was like, yeah, like, that's fine by me. Then he was like, I'm gonna give you my number. So he gave me his number. And then he asked me if I can call him if I felt comfortable. So I was like, yeah, I'll just call you. So I talked to him. It was cool. It was like strictly platonic. Over the course of New Year's time, when I went to see my significant other at the time, I contacted bus driver. I told him everything that was going on, how I felt, because I was trying, I was boo crying, I was sad, But shit, you would be too if you got dished in a whole different city when you done went your ass out your way a few hours just to, you know, we're gonna take it back, Charlie, take it back, bro. Bring it on back. I was venting to bus driver about the whole situation, and it kind of turned me on. That bus driver was legit like, you know what? You want me to come get you? Like, you don't deserve that shit. Like, I'm gonna come down there, then we gonna confront him. If you know where he is, we're gonna confront him, and I'm gonna drive you back. You could deserve so much better. I could do so much for you. Da 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 da. I was like, ooh. When I said that, he was like, I could do so much for you. I was like, ooh. Well, okay. Tell me more. Tell me more. What more can you do for me? What more can you do for me, sire? Please enlighten me. We'll rewind for real, because there was a point when I was actually having conversations with him, like whether it be on the phone or via text, he would just like continue to call me baby. It would be baby this, baby that, baby that. Sir, you're gonna have to stop calling me baby, because when I like used to hearing baby or babe, like that's referring to my partner, and I would find that like very disrespectful, especially if he happens to see it. Like, and not for the sake of me feeling like I'm gonna get caught or anything like that, but it's like genuinely like, what? Like, I'm not even calling no other dude that's not mine babe. Like, what? How did it look? Or baby? Like, no, I'm not calling any of my friends that. So he kept slipping and saying that, and I was just like, I had to let him know, I had to check him. He was like, after probably like the third or fourth time, I was like, listen, like, you cooling on, you was foreign too. Like, I ain't gonna lie. If I was single, I was very transparent with him. I was very upfront with him about that. However, I commented, I was like, you have to respect my relationship that I'm in, and that's just that. And he said, okay, I understand, I do respect it. This is going somewhere, I promise you. Like, I talked to him, I confided in him, and like, he was very supportive of me. But then after I decided to move, like fast forwarding to when I decided to move out of Georgia, he was like, okay, well, I'm mad, like, we didn't get to spend as much time together as I would like, and I definitely want to see you before you leave. And I said, okay, that's cool. So I had, at this point, I ended up getting a rental. I went over to his house, like my second and last day, and he had his niece over. Now, y'all, if there's one thing that I love, and it was just turning me on so much, is a man that knows how to take care of a child. Like, and I mean like taking care, like you could see this person as like a magnificent father. Like, I was just like, oh my God. Like, the way he was handling his niece, who was, at the time, she was like just a few months old. I was like, oh my God, like, so adorable. Like, so cute, so freaking cute. But it was kind of ruining what I really wanted at the time, because since I was single at that point, I was like, listen, before I go, I need a little makeout session. I need, like, you know, a couple of things going on. I need several things going on. Like, I need things to happen, especially since you invited me over to your house and you wanted me to see you before I leave. I'm thinking you're trying to imply that you want to do something, but being the fact that you have your niece over, that you're watching your niece and everything, yeah, I don't know what this is gonna give anymore. But, oh, actually, I keep going getting ahead of myself. Tell me why, when I first pulled up to the house, so I'm driving, and then the way you had to park into, like, the way you had to park into, like, in front of his house, it's parallel parking pretty much. But it's like, well, I don't want to say it's parallel. It's so weird. The way his house was set up, it's so weird to park in. I couldn't park in his driveway because he had his other cars there. So I had to end up driving back around, but there was people behind me anyway. Instead of me backing up, I had to drive around the corner to drive back around. So the people that was behind me, I guess, well, after I came back, he ended up telling me the people behind him, it was like a group of women in the car, and they was trying to holler at him. And they had asked him, he said they asked him if he was single, and he had said, oh no, the dude that y'all just seen pull off is my boyfriend. Like, okay. And so when he said that, I said, boyfriend, like, okay, what are you trying to do here? Like, this is awfully fast for one. Like, I'm leaving. I don't know if you were just trying to goop them, you know, because they just, I don't know what it was giving, but it definitely, I didn't take it serious, but I took it serious enough to be like, okay, you're definitely like invested and like serious about getting to whatever it is, the situationship or whatever, regardless of me moving. Before I left, we did hug. I feel like he wanted to get so bad, because I know I wanted to, but it's like, I don't know if he just wanted to be a gentleman or what, because I was just like, what is really going on? Like, I was trying to read the signs, but it wasn't giving what I wanted to give. I was just like, either you won't kiss me or not. Like, I don't know if you trying to have me take the lead or if, I just did not know. While all this is going on, before I even get to the point of moving, he's in and out of talking to other guys, like dating other guys. And I was just like having to tell him, like he would always tell me and ask me for my opinion. He would tell me about the dudes, and then there would be guys mainly from also like out of town, and how they were basically end up using them. And I was like, you gotta be like fast forwarding like from then to then fast forwarding to like this summer. I had to tell him, I was like, you gotta stop being Captain Save-A-Hoe. Like, you're being Captain Save-A-Hoe and you can't save every hoe. Like, it's just not possible. Like, some are worth it and then others are not. No shade, all tea. No, you know what? Screw that. All shade, all tea. I said what I said. I said what I said. He claimed he was receptive to it, but the way things went after said otherwise. Over the course of the next few years, we were still conversing like every very so often. They were dating off like a lot of different people, and then I wasn't really dating ever since last year. I only actually until now, so not counting now, only officially dated one person, and that was only for like 3 months maybe. And that's not even like, and I mean by dating, I don't mean like official like relationship. I just meant like going on dates and what have you, but that's it. And meanwhile, he's actually like dating multiple or like committing to, oh, like, cause this is his words from me, like, oh, this is my boyfriend and da 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 da. So last year, last year I did express to him before, this was prior to me dating the one person that I dated at the time. I was like, I don't know how I can really express this to you more than I'm about to now, but I have been very interested in you since a while, like physically, like since day one. However, over the course of time, since still me being single after my last relationship, like, you know, I don't want to confuse like our friendship with like, you know, actual interest. You know, I don't want to feel like I'm infatuated, but like we really had gotten to getting to know one another a lot, and like it would mainly also be him giving a lot of talk. Basically, he was all talk, no action at all. Like always trying to making plans to visit. Would inform him like, I'm gonna be out in Georgia, so this would be a perfect opportunity for you to see me. Like, but there'll be nothing after that. Even like, so when I went to Atlanta, when I did, since, you know, being back in Jersey, I was just like, well, since being in Jersey, I've gone to Atlanta, back to Atlanta since to visit, and not once has he shown like effort to try to see me. So I was just like, okay, that's on you. But it's also, what I've noticed is that every time he informed me about somebody he's dating or in a relationship with, the situation he's been in, I felt bad. And I really gave him some real ass advice, like some real advice. And I feel like he's just, I've grown to know he's one of those people that enjoys the drama. He loves going after the people that need, I don't want to say that need saving, but just he feels like he enjoys like helping other people, but then it's a woe it's me kind of person when that bites him back. Like, and that's not to say you can't be nice to other people or enjoy other people, enjoy like really sharing your wealth with other people and giving your all, but at the same time it's like, you gotta read in between lines. You can't just do that with anybody and give it to anybody that's especially that, like, I don't know how else to express it, but just like, I feel like he looks for messy situations and then tries to fix it. Goes back to when I first started talking to him, and I had expressed to him that I was in a relationship. Mind you, I did tell him I was happily in a relationship, but I don't know if he believed me or not. And try to believe, I could have unknowingly sent him like the wrong signals, but it's just like, if I'm telling you that I'm in a relationship and I'm also expressing to you to stop calling me babe or baby or any of that, like, that should be enough, like, that, like, no, I'm not trying to tell you one thing and like really want you to do another. I'm not playing hard to get. That's, trust and believe, I played hard to get, and that's not how I play hard to get. So it's just like, he was looking to try to see if I would really do something with him and or accept what he was putting out there, although I was in a relationship, until after. So then once I did become single, he was no longer interested because he felt like it was no longer a challenge as much for like him to come after me. There was not going to be any drama of him getting with me versus him going after all of the other people that he was starting to date or be in relationships with that was bringing so much drama. When I tell you, every single time he became in a relationship or started dating someone, he would be ghost. He'll be ghost for a minute, and every time I would hear, like, get a phone call or I would see a text message from him, I knew right then and there, I'm like, he about to tell me a story about this person he been dating, like, oh, I just started seeing somebody, da da da, and then next thing you know, you go back to the drama and him being single again. Oh, I can't stand da 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 da. That's why I don't date da 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 da. It's like, well, you asked for it. You asked for it. You're looking for a toxic relationship. So, coming to now, the reason why I wanted to express this story time is because I don't want to share this story time about like bus driver for a minute, like for a hot minute. Because when I tell you, one thing you can't take from him is he is fine. Okay, this man is, whew, this man's fine. This man's fine. I will say that I appreciated our friendship, past tense, because I came to a point where like I'm seeing more and more people just be like very about themselves, which is fine. You could be, there's no problem being selfish or, you know, all that. But in terms of friendships, like that's where I draw a line. Like you being selfish in friendships and being inconsiderate about certain things, especially if I'm the one that's reaching out to you and trying to see how you're doing, making sure it's mutual. When someone's always just hitting you up to express what they're going through and not really, like they ask you what you're going through, but not really listening or checking in on you, especially after the things that I've gone through, like not only since 2019, but in the last few months, it really showed me a lot. I cut off a lot of more people. We can be on social media and that's it. Like that's just where I'm at, and that includes him. And it's like, once I try to call you, once I try to text you 2, 3, 4 times, like that's just it. That's just it for me. Like, you won't hear from me unless you hit me up. You won't hear from me. And if I happen to miss your call, don't call again. Don't hit me up again, because I won't hit you back up unless it's on social media at this point. Like, I'm not sorry. I tried. I'm done trying to be the, you know, person that's up and up and up, trying to be positive and then checking in on everybody else, and in return, people just want to be around when it's convenient for them. They want to be around you when it's convenient for them. And it's just like, okay, that's fine. So I went to share this story time by Bus Driver. And Bus Driver, if you're watching this, because you supposedly be watching my content, but okay. Yeah. If you know it's about you, it's about you. It's good times. Hope you enjoyed. Until next time, guys, I shall see you guys on the flip side.